Who's to say what is better, the life of a chipmunk or the life of a turtle? Turtle's life, what a turtle might get out of living on the beach and swimming in the ocean, a chipmunk might get out of climbing up an oak tree and living under its roots. There's nothing wrong with either approach to life. Totally natural. The only time it gets screwy is when the chipmunk tries to be the sea turtle and the sea turtle tries to be the chipmunk. And then it doesn't work. And then, if the sea turtle judges itself based on its inability to be a chipmunk, then it's going to feel inadequate. And the same thing goes with the chipmunk if it's trying to be a sea turtle, or basically anything other than what it is. So, when you go through your day, you go through life in general, you just go through life, if you ever feel yourself feeling inadequate, if you ever feel yourself feeling less than complete, as if something's wrong with you or something is not adding up, finding yourself comparing and contrasting your progress to someone else, you can rest assured that the only thing that's wrong with any of it is the trying to be something that you aren't inherently. What you are is exactly what you're meant to be. And the more that you honor that, the more that you see just how everything in creation is just as perfect as you are, has just as much a place. Everything has just as much a place as you do. And you are as much a part of that, and as much you are in the right place at the right time to learn exactly what you're here to learn and to experience exactly what you're here to experience. And the only time that things get screwy is when you try to be something that you're not. That's the only time that that this sense of inadequacy can arise. It's the only time that this sense of inadequacy can seem to grow in yourself. Because otherwise, when you're just being yourself, any sense of inadequacy, any sense of negative comparison to others, anything along these lines can only soften, can only diminish. The more you try to be something that you're not, the more that these things seem to grow. And it's funny too. It's kind of like trying to quench your thirst by drinking salt water. You just get, the more you drink, the more thirsty you become. Because in trying to be something that you're not, you're giving life to the notion that you're not already complete as you are, and that you're not already capable and totally filled with the potential to be exactly what you need to be. I mean, it's just the thing is that a chipmunk can never be a sea turtle. And a sea turtle can never be a chipmunk, but you know what? That's totally okay because they're not supposed to be. A sea turtle is meant to be a sea turtle. Everything in the universe has come together to create the life of a sea turtle for the sea turtle to experience, for the sea turtle to enjoy. And it's the same with the chipmunk, and it's the same with every animal and every human being and every being in the entire cosmic reality. And it's just as much the same for you. You are what you know yourself to be. And it goes deeper than just what you're told to be or what you see on the television or what you think somebody's doing or what they portray themselves as doing on a website. It's more than what the surface appearances might suggest. because you realize that everything hinges upon your own willingness to embrace your own self-authenticity. And every step made in self-authenticity is always going to soften, is always going to open up new possibilities in your life, open up new ways of seeing yourself, open up miraculous changes and healings and inspirations and just fabulous things that from that limited idea of yourself would be hard to achieve, or in many cases impossible to achieve. After all, the doorways to energy that we want to embody and express in life can only come from this commitment to self-authenticity. I think we all know that's true on some level. After all, I don't think we would feel the sting of these negative comparisons if we didn't inherently know that there was something more complete about ourselves, something more fulfilling, more satisfying. You know, it's like, again, it comes back to that metaphor of drinking salt water to quench your thirst. You know that salt water is inadequate because you've tasted the fresh water so many times before. So it's like that when we see ourselves kind of maybe elevating other people while simultaneously putting ourselves down. It's like creating a superiority, inferiority kind of, not necessarily a complex, but a scenario where we are comparing, where we're like shrinking ourselves down and then blowing this other person up, you know. And it's a relative perception. It's really not a definitive, objective truth. It's really something that we find ourselves doing when we feel vulnerable, or we feel scared, or somebody says something nasty to us. You know, we're not operating at 100%. We're not fully embodying ourselves when we get into those kind of mindsets. So, with that said, there's no need to try to be that chipmunk. That chipmunk that wanted to be a sea turtle, but could never quite make it, could never do it, could never be as sea turtle-y as the actual sea turtles. You know, no wonder the chipmunk would feel inadequate. No wonder we feel inadequate when we try to be something that doesn't come naturally to us, because we'll be around all kinds of other people who are doing something that comes naturally to them, and you'll wonder, why are they so much better at it? Why it just seems to come so easily to them, but it doesn't. But no matter how hard I try, I can't even get an iota I can't even make an iota of the same progress. And this is because it doesn't come naturally to you. It's not what you're meant to be. If you're an artist, be an artist. If you're a musician, be a musician. If you're an athlete, be an athlete. If you're a dancer, be a dancer. If you're a stockbroker, be a stockbroker. Who cares what it is, but just if it's right for you, just do it. Just be it. Just be it. There's nothing wrong with it.